We travel to America's great cities, drawn by dreams of bright lights and iconic landmarks. We picture ourselves in Times Square on Hollywood Boulevard or before grand museums. These cities promise opportunity and wonder. But there's another city, hidden in plain sight. It's not in the guidebooks. A city of makeshift shelters, people sleeping on sidewalks, hands reaching out for help. The contrast is stark. Wealth and poverty, hope and despair, side by side. One moment you're admiring architecture, the next you're stepping around someone huddled in a doorway. This duality is the reality of the modern American city. For many visitors, it's a shocking discovery that changes how they see the city and the world. This essay is about that other city. It's about the crisis of homelessness reshaping our urban centres. We'll look at the numbers, but more importantly, the people. This isn't just a story of statistics, it's about human beings, it's about our shared spaces and responsibilities. It's a story that must be told and heard. Over 650,000 people are homeless in America on any given night, the highest number since records began. Cities like New York, Los Angeles and Seattle are epicenters of this crisis. In Los Angeles County, over 75,000 people are without shelter. In New York City, more than 100,000 seek refuge in shelters nightly. Even cities once considered affordable, like Denver and Phoenix, have seen homelessness double in recent years. Family homelessness is rising fastest, parents and children living in cars, shelters or on the street. More older adults are becoming homeless for the first time, pushed out by rising rents and fixed incomes. These numbers aren't just data, they're a reflection of a system failing its people. The safety nets are breaking under the strain. This is a national crisis, not an isolated problem. The faces behind the numbers are everywhere, on park benches, at traffic lights, carrying backpacks with nowhere to go. The American dream is slipping away for too many. Every statistic is a person with a story. Maria, a single mother in Chicago, lost her home when her hours were cut and rent soared. She and her children lived in their car, pretending it was a camping adventure. David, a 62-year-old veteran in Los Angeles, lost his apartment after a rent hike. He spends days in the library, nights in the park, too proud to ask for help. Sarah, who aged out of foster care in Seattle, tried to juggle college and work, but ended up on the streets, carrying her life in a backpack. These aren't stories of personal failure. They're stories of a system that failed them. Job loss, health crises, rent hikes, lack of support. Misfortunes that could happen to anyone. Homelessness is not a character flaw, it's a devastating experience that can strike anyone. Maria, David and Sarah are our neighbours. They have hopes and dreams just like us. They are the human faces of this crisis. Their stories remind us homelessness is about people, not just numbers. They deserve to be seen and heard. We must look beyond the surface and recognise our shared humanity. Their struggles are a call to action. We can't ignore them. Their stories matter. Widespread homelessness wasn't always part of American city life. In the 1950s and 60s, affordable options like single-room occupancy hotels existed and social safety nets were stronger. The image of thousands sleeping on city streets was rare. The crisis began in the late 1970s and 80s when federal funding for affordable housing was slashed and mental health institutions closed without adequate community support. Stable jobs disappeared, replaced by low-wage, unstable work. The face of homelessness changed from mostly single men to families, youth and the elderly. What was once a temporary setback for some has become a chronic condition for many. The systems meant to help are now overwhelmed and underfunded. This crisis is not ancient or inevitable. It's the result of policy choices and economic shifts over the past 40 years. Understanding this history shows us today's homelessness is not normal. It's a recent phenomenon, created by decisions that can be changed. A different reality is possible. We've solved this before, we can do it again. The past is proof that change is possible. Why is homelessness surging now? We're living through a perfect storm. The biggest driver, a lack of affordable housing. Rents and home prices have soared, but wages haven't kept up. A full-time minimum wage worker can't afford a one-bedroom apartment in any major city. People are being priced out, and a single emergency, car repair, medical bill can push them onto the street. Stable jobs have been replaced by gig work and low-wage service jobs with no security. Millions live one paycheck from disaster. Healthcare failures, especially in mental health and addiction treatment, leave many without support. Jails and ERs have become the default safety net, ineffective and costly. The pandemic made everything worse: job losses, evictions and deepened inequality. Temporary relief ended and a wave of homelessness followed. All these factors, housing, wages, healthcare, the pandemic, have created the worst crisis in our history. The system is broken. The need for change is urgent. Visiting America's landmarks now means seeing tents near monuments and people sleeping in historic doorways. The beauty of these places is shadowed by visible suffering. Tourists feel discomfort, guilt, or even fear. Vacation joy collides with harsh reality. Some try to crop homelessness out of their photos, but it's impossible to ignore. The presence of homelessness changes how visitors see a city, sometimes leaving with negative impressions, sometimes awakening to deeper truths. Tourism economies suffer, but for some travelers, the experience sparks empathy and awareness. The encounter between tourist and homeless person is a collision of two Americas, leisure and survival. There's no easy way to respond: look away, offer help, or reflect on the inequalities exposed. For thoughtful travelers, the trip becomes a lesson about the country itself. The reality of homelessness is now part of the American landscape. Confronted with homelessness while traveling, it's easy to feel helpless, but there are meaningful ways to respond. The most powerful act is to see the person, not just the problem. A nod or greeting restores dignity. If you want to help, carry useful items: socks, granola bars, water or hygiene kits. Small care packages can make a real difference. Consider donating to local organizations, shelters, soup kitchens, outreach teams who know what's needed most. Your donation can provide meals, beds or support for permanent housing. The most important souvenir is a new perspective. Don't crop homelessness out of your memories. Talk about what you saw, learn about the issue at home and support real solutions. Your experience can turn you into an advocate. Change starts with awareness and caring. Your voice matters. Together we can build a more just society. We underestimate the power of small acts. Big change starts with a culture of compassion, built one gesture at a time. A volunteer serving meals learns names, hears stories, and becomes an advocate. Small steps lead to bigger journeys. For those on the street, a kind word or gesture can be a lifeline, a reminder they're not invisible. Positive human connection can spark hope and resilience. Don't be paralyzed by the scale of the problem. Every bottle of water, every dollar donated, every moment volunteering adds up. These are the building blocks of a compassionate society. Ripples of kindness can grow into waves of change. Ending homelessness is a long journey, but it starts with each of us. Our kindness matters. The first step is choosing to care. A city's true heart is its people, all of them. Greatness is measured by compassion, not skyscrapers. When people sleep on the streets, the city's heart is broken. But there is hope. Doctors, social workers, volunteers, and formerly homeless advocates are making a difference. This isn't someone else's problem. It's ours. The homeless are part of our community, our fellow Americans. Their well-being is tied to ours. A society that lets so many fall is weakened for everyone. Building a just world requires participation, voices, and care. Let's build more homes, not just shelters. Let's see people, not problems. The path forward is empathy, courage, and commitment to housing for all. Healing our cities starts with us. It begins now.